Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons and Dummies, a weekly podcast following a group of friends as they battle across a homebrewed world called Antiriath in Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Step into the mystical world of Antiriath and follow as our party of dummies adventure across the lands. Tolly Grug, half orc, half fighter. The Mystery, played by Taylor. The Eclarian Shadow, half elf ranger from the Eclarian Mountains, played by Seth. And a Learlock Bloodhair, a Harengon cleric, played by Joey. Last but not least, the creator of our beautiful world, the man of many voices, and our dungeon master, Sam.
You know what I think it's time for?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
time.
please.
I need it.
I cut out all my claps. I did a really cool clap rhythm, but a recap.
Okay.
Recap.
So, continuing on the hex crawl, our party dealt with some giant spiders that had lightning and paralyzed Shadow, at which point Talik and Learlock rescue him. Going into the next section of hexes, Talik, Learlock, and Shadow all are able to acquire some rations and find some things, including a goat statue. There is transmutation magic on the goat statues, but beyond that, we're unsure what they are. As the party continues to investigate the goat statues, up a path, they find the entrance to a cave. Inside the cave, they find a chest right at the entrance that has some coins and a cheese wheel and a large sapphire. After a little bit more investigation, they find some old mining tools and eventually find some really old statues of people. Definitely picking up some more magic at this point and having a little bit more caution. Shadow sends a goat further into the cavern, at which point he sees through the goat's eyes a pile of treasure and looks down to see a creature that petrifies the goat as Shadow snaps back into his body and tells the party to run. And then my notes say, "We runnin'."
Good moment.
Roll for initiative. As the party begins to run away, two basilisks encroach on the party. Shadow is able to shoot one of them in the eye and horribly misses the second shot. Party continues to run, but another creature actually moves through the cavern, gets in front of the party, and blocks the path. At which point, a Learlock rounds a corner and casts Polymorph, turning it into a slug. Talik then turns around and just starts wailing away at the completely blinded basilisk as Shadow shoots out its other eye, and Talik slays that one. So with one dead and one as a slug, the party goes back deeper into the cave to where the pile of treasure was and acquires a significant hoard for the party's
Significant.
Anyway. The value is higher than the entire bounty for the Valley of Cinders.
I don't know about that, because it was 700 gold, bunch of silver, bunch of copper, and then 4 gems worth 500. But y'all got golden swan eggs worth 500 plus the 2,000 that he paid you.
I was merely referring to
he was
the
just talking about the
bounty.
2,000.
Yeah, so the total gold from this haul was 3,133 worth of gold.
Sheesh.
If you add up all the gems and paintings and everything.
Yeah.
I'm retired. Talik's retiring.
Right.
So the party continues into the next hex on the hex crawl on the second half of that day, which is the 37th of Harvest. And as they prepare for a long rest, while they're looking for a place to have a long rest, a Learlock sees a shimmering aberration up on the edge, which Shadow identifies as most likely some ghosts or spirits of long dead moon elves from genocide that took place due to the dwarves of Fev after a long-standing feud. At the beginning of their long rest, a Learlock casts Commune to begin speaking with his deity, where he gets asked 3 questions. He asks, "If I use a restorative spell to cure my friend's lycanthropy, will it work?" He gets a surge of power from his deity, which symbolizes the answer to be yes. His second question is this tower we seek the source of corruption in the land? He hears whispered words that tell him not the tower itself. And is there any way to lift my own curse? Is his third question. Whether or not Talik and Shadow hear the response to that or not, they definitely heard the question asked aloud, at which point a sad voice tells Alirlock, I do not know. Alirlock then ruffles up the whole situation and snatches up his stuff and storms into his tent to go to sleep. Shadow takes first watch as Talik sleepily fades away into his tent to go to bed. And that is the end of the 37th of Harvest and the beginning of our long rest.
Beautiful recap.
Beautiful recap.
Beautiful recap. And
Lovely.
Joey and I just discussed, Talik and Learlock Bloodhire just discussed that I'm giving him 2 foods and 2 waters next morning as we arise.
Excellent.
And as you arise the next morning, you're met by a sticky, damp, really humid day. There's almost no wind. It's like a high of 95 today in the foothills, and it's pouring down rain off and on all day. It's so hot that you actually will have to consume an extra water today at the end of the day.
95 and raining.
It's a hot one.
Today's the 38th?
Today is the beginning of the 38th, yes.
Correct.
For my sake and for the listeners, I know it's dependent on what path we take, but how far do you think we are from the Moon Tower now? The Rising Sun Tower, excuse me.
So y'all have traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hexes. And if you could make a straight line there, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hexes away.
4 days.
Okay.
So not too long.
Assuming
but
we
there's
go
the
fairly
issue of
straight.
crossing the river.
And there's a big ass river. Okay. All right. Just all right. Cool.
4 to 5 days.
So yeah, hot, muggy day. Yeah, it's like off and on rain. It'll be like a torrential downpour, and then it'll just be like steamy, hot mugginess for a little
that's
while.
the worst. It's like when you want it to rain because you're so hot, but then it makes it hotter.
Mm-hmm. Your saddle's all wet.
Puts you in a sauna.
And it's super way too hot for this time of year. Just a nasty day.
Well, Talik loves it. He's a sun-worshipping lizard, like his player.
Like his player. We put the best of ourselves into our characters. Our sun-worshipping lizard mentality. So, yeah, now I've done my part of the hex crawl by rolling the weather. It's y'all's turn to tell me where y'all are headed and what rolls y'all are making.
Okay, so we will head due north for this hex.
Okay, so straight north of y'all, I'm going to call that a mountains hex.
Okay, I thought we would be able to head east. Okay, so we're gonna head to the northeastern hex from here.
Okay, that's still foothills.
Yeah.
Okay, good, because I don't have to change my weather description.
Okay, so moving my character.
All right.
And I'll be rolling survival.
Okay.
Not one.
Well, what's your total?
7.
Oh, we're in your favorite train. It's with advantage.
Oh.
Yeah, use those ranger skills when you can.
Not 20.
Oh!
No way. What a floppy dop.
What a
What does that mean?
It means it flipped from one side and flopped to the other, obviously. It's a floppy dop.
I thought it was like a floppy dong.
Do you think it was a penis?
Yeah.
I definitely thought it was a penis.
Slop.
I had penis on the brain.
That's what everybody thinks about is penises.
Yeah,
they rule the world.
On the floppy dop.
Sloppy
No
top
sloppy
on
top.
the sloppy
Dear
top
Lord,
and the
help us
floppy
all.
dop.
You find enough food and water for the day for 3 persons.
And do I also even drink some water out of the sky so I don't have to keep my food and water separately?
You know what? Since you rolled a nat 20, and I love you because you're my brother. Yes, you can drink some rainwater as it falls. You can set up a little, those like beer hats with the little beer cans, you like rig up a hat that runs water into your mouth from the rain.
I don't think I ain't ever drank water out of my Stetson before.
Talik sees a little bubbling stream and he can't even do it without laughing. I was gonna do that. An homage to
Super descriptive.
Shadows.
Dismount.
God, y'all
I
are
can't do
so
it.
terrible. I
I'll
was
try it.
trying to
I'll
be
try
in
it later.
character.
His
I need to
rippling
know.
forearms twitch and
Oh my. His veins bulge as he grips his saddle horn.
Okay.
yeah, he does.
Heard it.
And he rolls a survival check of a 10.
Bulging veins.
With the rain and shit, that is not enough. You fail to find enough. You fail to find any rations in the shitty day. Alirlock, what are you rolling?
I rolled a 13 on perception plus 7, so a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 with the heavy rain.
Dirty boy.
Everybody received. I
Dirty
distribute my water and
boy.
rations evenly amongst the group. I don't keep 3 of each.
Okay. You
Oh,
guys
you do
make note of that.
1-1-1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, you guys make note of that.
You trying
Noted.
to keep up with my altruism.
Solid. And altruism. Synonyms if I ever heard it.
You see, Joey, a piece of paper lying on the ground. As you follow the piece of paper up from the ground, you see a rusty nail tacked into a tree. It looks like it fell off of the thing, just getting poured on in the rain.
I would like to attempt to discern what is on the paper.
Sure, yeah. You pick it up and it's kind of ink smeared and what's the word I'm looking for? Faded. That's the word I'm looking for. It's got a warning on it. And it's got a drawing of like a crude little drawing of a cave opening and little bats, like you would draw seagulls on a thing. And it says, "Caution, watch out for mutated bats."
Oh,
Hey, Shadow. You know anything about a mutated bat?
me? No, we didn't burn that town down.
Alright. That's not what I. Alright, okay. I'm just gonna chuck.
Wait, what do you mean? Why are you asking?
Oh, there's this piece of paper here, and it says to watch out for mutated bats.
Might be the cause of our fire, Shadow.
Well, you know, I don't know if you knew this, Alirlock, but did you know that bats can set things on fire?
You know, bats normally don't do that kind of thing.
Mutated bats do.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh. Like just gives kind of a strange look and just gonna keep walking.
Who you reckon could have put that note on that tree?
Beats me. Guess as good as mine.
Well, that makes me wildly uncomfortable. Okay.
Alright.
We continue
So you have lunch.
north?
And then what do you do after lunch?
Move due north.
Do
Continuing on the footlands towards the Velkovogen River. I feel like I say that wrong every time.
That's
Sounded
close
good
enough.
to me.
Close enough, he says.
Okay. Let me. Oh no, weather for the day. So the balmy, steamy day continues. But y'all get to make your rolls again.
Velkovogen is the name of the river.
I know. I just say it a little bit more
I'm not getting frumpy with
crispy. Velkovoden.
it. Velkovoden. Not one.
Boy.
Oh, advantage.
Oh, I know.
I'm
I was just waiting to see if it was going to happen.
If you're going to go from a 1 to a 20 and get your.
Show me that floppy top.
I
Pull
got
out your
11.
floppy top.
No
Everybody
sloppy
wants
top for my floppy top.
Everybody wants the
Jesus
floppy
Christ.
top.
I got an 11.
Shadow sidles up on his horse, thighs squeezing against the sides of the stirrup.
I would never
strap
do that
as
if I
he-
wanted to go slowly.
That makes a good point. Y'all
Oh.
11 and 12.
I got a 12. You just cut me off.
I
The
got a 9 on
12
survival.
is barely a success, and 11 is not. So you find enough rations for one person for one day. And you're rolling survival as well, Joey.
Yeah, 9.
A 9. That is not enough.
Oh, I'm calling that again. I can't handle it.
Joey.
Joey.
It's whatever.
He's like, call me whatever. Yeah.
Just
Can't
don't call
take
me late
this.
for dinner. As you guys continue along on this path, you get into a narrow canyon area. You're making good time as Shadow directs y'all around some of the harsher things that would take your horses a long time to walk around. And you make it into a kind of ravine area, and you're walking along. You see something up ahead blocking the path, and as you get close, you see that there's these 2 massive iron spheres, just half buried. They look like they're like hemispheres, half buried in the dirt, completely blocking the path through this ravine.
Unfortunate.
Large metal things.
Iron spheres.
Hemispheres.
Excuse you?
Hemispheres.
Large
Half
iron
circles above the
hemispheres.
ground.
Large iron hemispheres.
Hemispheres.
Coming up out of the ground.
But they're in the ground. So how do we know that they're hemispheres?
Well, it might be a full sphere and half of it in the ground. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it
Okay.
perfectly smooth and round?
It's not perfectly smooth and round. It is quite smooth, but it's got a little bit of rust on it here and there, and it's not really perfectly round. It's a little more loaf shaped than round.
I see.
So you're looking at this area, and it looks like you could probably easily do a little bit of scaling of the walls and climb around these spheres. The problem is there's no way for your horses to get through this area. Shadow, you know, with the pass, if you were to go back and around, then you would essentially be going back to the beginning of this node. So basically your day would end when you got back to where you started into this node, and you'd have to do this whole node again.
So Shadow is going to get within 30 feet and hop off of Starlight.
Okay.
Shadow, intensely focused on the spheres, is going to walk up to them and examine them closely.
Okay, make me a investigation or nature or survival. I'll take any of those.
No! 10.
10. You're looking across them and you're like, they don't look like a natural ore vein, but they don't look like a statue or anything either. They're just kind of weird, like something you'd see in No Man's Sky.
Shadow's going to do what any outdoorsman would do, and he's going to touch it. He's going to start rubbing his hand across it and feeling its texture.
What are those things, Shadow?
If you've ever felt like a old piece of iron, like a ship hull that's unpainted, it's rusty, and there's spots of it that are shiny, and like it's just like a hard metal.
I was picturing like weirdly perfect and smooth.
No, it's a little bit potted and pitted in places, and there's rust, and there's a, you know, it's not just totally caked in rust like a, you know, I-beam sitting out getting ready to be installed.
Gotcha. Yeah.
There's definitely smooth parts on it, almost parts that look sanded down, in fact.
So Shadow is going to use the back of his knuckles and knock on it to see if it's hollow.
Sure, yeah, you don't even need to make a check for that. You tink tink, and sure enough, it kind of tink tink. It sounds like it's pretty thick shell, but definitely sounds hollow.
Then he's going to take something harder, like the butt of his glaive, and knock on it. Not the butt of his glaive, the dull backside of his glaive, and knock on it to see what it sounds like.
Very metallic, cling cling. But yeah, seems hollow for sure.
So then he's going to see if they are movable. He's going to try to push it.
I'm not even going to have you make an athletics check. You go to shove it, and it's just shoving on a house. Like, I mean, it doesn't even... there's no budge to it at all.
What do you make of this, Dalek?
It looks buried.
Think it's buried?
Sure as hell stuck in there.
Well,
Can we not just jump over them?
I don't think the horses can make it over. Huh. Well,
I could make it over on foot, Sam.
Yeah, you can crawl kind of up and around them. They're kind of slick to crawl over, to be honest. Like, it would be a really high climb check if you wanted to crawl over the metal thing itself. But there's great handholds on the side that you could, just scale, boulder around it.
I'll climb up and over the side and drop down on the ground on the other side and just see if it looks the same from the other side.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make me a, survival perception or survival investigation nature check as well, if you want to.
Okay. I got a 15 on survival.
So while you're climbing over the top, you notice that it looks like this hemisphere has a split running all the way across it, like a vertical equator going over the North Pole, as it were. And it's
going up over the top.
Going up over the top. It's real narrow. Not even sure if you could wedge something in there. It's tightly sealed, but you realize that it is split as you're crawling over and around this thing.
Well, can I take the longsword, a pallid light, and poke it into the seam and see if anything happens? Like, really forcefully poke it.
If you want to try to jam it in there, then I'll let you make an attack roll.
Okay, yeah, I want to see if I can get it in.
Okay, so you kind of line it up and just really put your weight in it.
Yeah. 20 to hit, dirty 20.
So
filthy.
You take your sword and you line it up in this thing, and it takes all your might, but you're able to wedge through this sword into it, and it sticks in, and you hear a little like a video game hit marker sounds, like kind of sound, and you feel it sink into something fleshy.
This thing's
the long sword, yeah, it sucks a little. Go ahead and roll me damage.
This thing's alive, Shadow. Get ready.
me alive, this man. Learlock, Talek's lost his mind.
13 damage. 6 necrotic. 19 total.
Yeah, so when you do that, there's a brief pause as you sink your sword in here, you shout back to them, and then it starts to open up a little bit, and
something's happening.
And then all of a sudden, it flings open these two massive wing coverings as these thin, layered insectoid wings come flying out as the beetle shell opens up to reveal a beetle that was half buried in the ground. This one jumps up and the other one does as well. And I need you guys to roll initiative.
Oh my.
Thought there was something.
Mutate iron beetles, of course.
Damn it. 8 initiative.
12.
I gotta roll theirs. Shit.
13.
Are you guys cereal right now?
Oh my god. Hell, yeah, great too, since we're standing up here on them.
13, 12, and 8, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one you stab is gonna get the initiative.
Iron shell giant beetles.
Iron shell giant beetles.
Iron shell giant
Iron
beetles.
shell giant beetles. Okay. Thank you guys for playing along and not metagaming the fact that I had 2 giant turtle minis sitting here and treating them as
Happily.
metal. Okay. First thing it's gonna do.
A metal, that's a turtle.
It's gonna do that. Alright. It's gonna make 2 attacks
Oh
on you,
god, I'm
Talek.
scared. Whenever the throat gets cleared, that's like
2 attacks.
Danger
something
zone.
about that. That's a danger.
Okay,
Mhm.
one's a dirty
Danger zone.
one's a dirty 20.
Danger zone.
Shield.
Oh, you bastard. Okay, so it whips around
to kill me!
surprisingly fast and goes to hook you with this big bladed horn that's coming off of the front of his head and just ka-chong into your shield. And then the second thing it does is it goes to smash you with its wing, like up against the wall. That one's a modified 24. Does your shield stop that one?
Damn, that hits. I'm 23.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
pretty high roll on that one. Okay.
That's what's the throat clear.
So,
Uh-huh.
okay, that's 17.
So it's like,
So, I will say that attack's not nearly as bad as the horn. 17 damage.
that's pretty bad.
What was that attack?
That was his wings smashing Tolop up against the wall.
17 damage. Okay.
These things are mechanically huge.
Mechanically huge.
So when they come up out of the ground, how big are they actually?
So, I mean, the way I'd never really gave a diameter on these guys. These things were like a 20-foot diameter. They're like 10. They were like 10 feet off the ground. And so when they stand up, and get up on their legs, that adds like another 5 feet. So like 15 feet off the ground, 20-foot diameter shell, and then legs sticking out a little bit farther than that. They're huge.
Sheesh.
Yeah, their
Is
sheer
it a
size
beast or
is what's going to
dragon?
be dangerous. Is it a what?
Beast or dragon?
It is a beast. Yeah, and after he slams
Shut
you,
up! I think these things are mutated.
after he slams you, he closes his shell back down.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh my.
I don't like that.
Okay, so what's the other one doing? Looking at me, looking at Tala?
Yeah, it had lower initiative. It's just it got up out of the dirt and starts looking around and taking assessment of the situation because his buddy slammed into him while he was getting up, and he's awake now.
Okay. Shadow is going to. God bless.
Look at these snapping turtle
That'll
minis.
work. Yeah, that'll work.
They're really
I
cool.
love them to death.
Terrifying. They make
They're
my
so
fingers.
detailed.
They are.
They make
They make my penis hurt.
Yeah. Well, if you're
Yeah.
imagining a snapping turtle getting involved with it.
Daggone
Woo.
floppy dongy.
All right, where are
whatever.
people's horses? So Seth specifically.
30 feet.
Mine's dismounted somewhere behind me.
Oh, I left mine back where Learlock is. Yeah, right there. I was like, yeah.
Okay, so Shadow is going to immediately twist his ring.
Oh,
Let's speak with animals.
interesting.
Okay.
And
I'm
say,
ready for that.
hold on. We didn't know. Are you guys okay? Did we scare you?
As soon as you twist your ring over, you hear the other one. you hear the one right in front of you saying, "What's the matter, George?" And the other one goes, "Frank, he stabbed me in the back. I'm gonna fucking kill him." Says, "George, leave it alone. We don't have to kill him."
You're absolutely right, George. Your friend is absolutely right. You don't have to kill him. He's just a silly half-orc. He sticks his sword in all types of metal and rocks, and your beautiful shells just confused him, and he didn't know that there was someone inside. We're so sorry.
See, George, they like our shells. I hate our fucking shells. They're heavy. And they suck ass. I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna kill that one too. Help me kill him. Go ahead and make me a persuasion check,
Jesus.
or animal handling if you want. But I assume since you want
I'll
to talk to him,
take
you want persuasion.
God. An 11.
Here's what I'm gonna say with that middling roll. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say that
So
Frank is going to, if nobody attacks him, he is going to skip this first turn, at least. But you have done nothing to quell George's anger.
Okay.
George.
Okay. I'm just going to say, George, please calm down. Everything is going to be okay. We are on a mission to help solve you and all the other creatures' problems with the heavy shells and the lightning hooves and the fire wings. We want to stop all of it, and so you can go back to your normal beetle life.
Yeah, I'm not giving you another roll, but I appreciate the
No, I
sentiment.
know. And then I'm going to end that turn. I'm just hoping that the voices will carry over. I'm going to end my turn.
Okay. Alright. Alirlock, Shadow has chosen the path of peace. What shall thou do?
Does a debuff, is that considered an attack?
Is it hostile?
they have to make a save.
I mean, you have to make a save against charm effects as well. I don't know.
Yeah, but do they know? I mean, their wisdom maybe not the greatest.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the beetles are very smart. I actually just stepped away to get water while you were asking me that question, so I don't have their wisdom in front of me, but...
So it's
Well, it'd be
canon,
more their
then.
intelligence than their wisdom to know whether or not they were being targeted.
Well, unfortunately, it's a charisma save. Elirlock has observed Shadow communicating with a beetle, not knowing that there is a conversation happening. However, picking up on the details, probably is able to discern half the pieces desired. I am going to cast Thaumaturgy to make it sound like there's an avalanche of rocks coming down off the side of the mountain, the side of the foothills here.
Okay. What's your spell save DC?
It is 16.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
I will describe the effect on their turn. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's my action. I don't really want to use any bonus actions, so I'll leave it at that.
Okay. On Frank's turn, he tries to look up, but his head is... Well, no, he can look up. Beetlehead can kind of look up. He looks up. He says, "George, there's rocks falling. Get in your shell." And he hunkers down tight in his shell. Talik, it is your turn.
Okay, could I hear Shadow? I know I couldn't hear what the creature was saying,
Yeah,
but
we talked about
am I
this
close enough
the
to
other
just...
day to hear the gist of it. Yeah, I mean, you don't even need to make a check to see that this thing is still actively trying to kill you.
Could I hear Shadow? Like, Shadow talks in common,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Shadow, you could tell that Shadow was, you could hear that Shadow was parlaying with them.
But I couldn't hear the answer.
Right, you couldn't hear the answer, but this one definitely still is trying to actively gore you and smash you.
I think I'm gonna yell over to Shadow and try and talk to him and be like, can you get these things? I'll give you one more chance. If you get these things, leave us alone, or I'm gonna have to attack it. Just smack the shit out of me.
Yeah, buddy, hold on. Keep your shield up. I'm gonna try to calm him down.
Can I use the... Is it the dodge action?
Yeah, get all attacks against you will have disadvantage.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of like get down in a athletic stance, bend down a little
Defensive
bit,
stance.
and get ready to dodge, and be like, all right, I'll give you one more turn, and I'll take the dodge action.
Okay. All right, George. Shadow, you hear he lets out a guffaw. He says, "Ha, ha, let the rocks kill him," and he does the same. He shinks down into his armor shell, super tight.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
They both failed really hard on their saves against the thaumaturgy thing.
Shadow is going to say, "By the powers that I possess as the shadow of the Eclarian Mountains, hoolah! I command these rocks to stop." And then he's going to say,
Nice.
"George and Frank, it's okay. I've stopped the avalanche. Everybody's okay."
Beautiful.
This is glorious.
That's great.
Make me a deception check.
Deception? Oh, I thought it was going to be performance. Okay, here we go. 19.
There we go.
Okay, all right.
That's amazing.
Frank pokes his head out. He says, "They stop?" George says, "Huh? Do I need to kill myself?" Frank says, No, George, look, no rocks. This guy stopped the rocks." And Frank's just like, saved his puny skin. I'm still gonna kill him.
Oh no,
Frank,
George.
Like, no, George, don't kill him. Hey, you, guy with the white hair, you seem pretty cool. How did you learn to talk to us?
Oh, well, friend, I've sought the ability to communicate with all the creatures of the land for my whole life, and I was able to get this special ring here so I can do so.
Ooh, pretty ring. Ooh,
Ask him to
what was that?
scooch over.
Does it have an eagle?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I love eagles. They fly so easily.
They're majestic, but they do not have shells nearly as beautiful as yours.
That's true. And at that, he whooshong, like opens it all the way up like a beetle, like a ladybug style,
Mhm.
and just like lets out his big insectoid wings out of it. He says, I like our shells, but George thinks they're too heavy.
Well, we're
At
gonna
that,
try to
George
help
kind
you.
of shuffles his face out. He's like, yeah, these things freaking suck, man.
I totally understand. That's why I don't carry a shield. We'll do what we can to help you. We're headed to a tower right now to try to stop what's turning your shells into iron.
You mean you could send me back down a normal shell?
I can't promise anything, but we're gonna try.
Oh man, that'd be the best. Frank's like, I kind of like my iron shell. Can I keep it?
I don't know yet, but we're gonna go find out.
Oh, okay. Are you guys, I guess you're just passing through then?
Yeah, we're just passing through. We just didn't want to hurt our horses trying to go around, and we didn't realize you guys were so majestic inside there, and we thought it was just some iron, so we apologize, but your shells are beautiful, and we just want to get our horses past without hurting them.
Oh, okay. Well, you can go through.
Well, thank y'all so very much. Tom, come on.
They don't actually move though. They sit there.
Shadow goes back and gets on Starlight. Or in fact, Shadow kisses for Starlight to come to him
Dalek climbs over and gets on his horse back in the back.
and says, Frank, if you don't mind scooching over just a little bit, we'll slip through and we'll see you on our way back. We'll try to, if we have time, we'll stop by and say hi and see how you guys are doing and tell you what we find out.
Oh, okay. And he starts fluttering his wings like really fast, and he actually like flutters up and he flies right over you, just barely clearing you by like a couple of feet, and then just kaboom lands over here on the rocks out of the way a little bit.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you, George. Y'all have a great day.
Yeah, you guys too. And before y'all are even gone, George is already like settling back into the dirty spot he had cleared out.
Nice, Shadow. Hell yeah, that was awesome.
I thought you were gonna die.
Yeah, that thing knocked the shit out of me.
Learlock, I'm so glad you didn't try to smite those things while I was standing next to him.
I really wanted to. I'm so sorry. I wanted to so bad.
The smiting, could you imagine?
Okay. So scary.
All right. So that was the afternoon of the 38th, and y'all did
Yes.
not have to go backwards.
Very good.
Got out all my dice and I didn't get to roll one of them.
Man, I'll tell you guys, if y'all were up for a combat, that was gonna be
I could
one.
tell.
I was not prepared mentally to fight those things.
That was great. I did not even think about that. That was clutch. Good job.
Thanks.
Whew. Okay.
I don't think Sam was ready for it either. It's like, wait a minute.
I realized they were mutated beasts, but then I still didn't connect the dots of like, oh, maybe we can.
Well, when he said, "Are these beasts?" I was like, "Oh, he's trying to direct."
That's
the
what I
shit out
thought
of 'em.
too.
That's also what I thought.
I was like, because we've heard that before, and it was like it was Drekbin related.
Yep.
All right, so we made it 2 full hexes.
Yep, 2 full hexes.
All right, and tell us remind me what we used because it was
you
so
do-
hot.
Reduce your water by 2, your food by the normal 1.
Okay.
Shadow drink out of the sky.
And since Shadow rolled a nat 20, he really got 4 water and 3 food out of the deep generosity of the benevolent GM.
Of the benevolent GM. He was just trying
Wow.
to kill me, I seem to remember.
I literally let y'all
Damn it.
skip that entire encounter because of good roleplay.
He let us.
It was not earned, Taylor. It was allowed.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I love it.
Oh,
It was not earned. but allowed.
But
We were let.
it was granted.
Granted by the benevolent.
Bestowed.
Jiminy Christmas.
He blessed us, one might even
Oh
say.
my god. I gotta turn my fan on.
All
He
right.
was so hot and bothered to kill us.
Yeah, he's
So
all
hot
horned
bothered.
up.
You can call me a dog, because I'm all horned up. Like, you can call me a giant
Floppy
iron
Doppy.
shell beetle.
Oh. I thought it was more sloppy toppy for the floppy doppy.
No, what is up with the sloppy toppy?
You said floppy doppy.
Okay, is it all my fault? It's always my
This
fault.
is
All right.
always your fault. Find out what happens to our party next week. Check us out at dndndummies.com. And please leave us a rating and a review on your podcast app. It would mean the world to us. Can y'all see my penis I drew?
Excuse me?
I do see your penis.
Wow. That's
It's way longer than I thought. My angle was weird.
That's what she said.
Yeah,
It's all about the angle of the dangle.
that's right.
Wait, does it have little... Wow.
Testes.
No, it's the other end that's upsetting.
Wait, what? I didn't do that.
You didn't give it the little...
I think
Well,
Joey did that.
He just loses it.
I should have just muted.
What happened? I missed
God. So Taylor drew a phallus, and Joey applied a
Look,
God.
action
Oh,
to
God.
it. The
Oh,
phallus is
God.
getting more and more detailed.
it. The phallus.
Incredible.